What's up, Mustangs Nation? We're inside the suite here at Welch Stadium for this week. We don't really have an official name of the podcast yet, but me and Keaton kind of came up. Phil and Time and Phil Welch, maybe, you know. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments for us to
Still
discuss.
in the works.
It's still in the works, but we're here with Andrew Clark. And Andrew, how's it going today?
Good. Ready to go tonight. Just had a huge win last night. Jeff City, for some reason, blanks on me so easily like that. But ready to go and get after the Mudcats tonight.
So just a few games into this season now, you're 4-1. What's this season been like for you? Because we know you had a college season right before this season.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any big differences that you notice in this baseball team, you know, that compared to teams that you've been on in years past?
It's still really early in the season. To be honest, like I'm still learning a lot of guys' names because we're having guys come in late. Because some guys are still playing high school baseball. Some guys are still playing whatever D2, D1, JUCO, whatever it may be. So that's kind of the harder part. But from the guys that have been here, we've already kind of started to gel, which usually doesn't take long when you play in St. Joe. So that's the good part about playing in St. Joe is you kind of learn everybody and you kind of like create that team chemistry that you really want to have to be a winning culture. And that starts from Johnny and then Mac, Kai, everybody, and then just kind of trickles down. So on the field, same as always. Got guys that throw a ton of strikes, got hitters that can hit the ball wherever. So we play fast, we play good defense. That's just kind of the Mustang. That's how we do it.
Yeah, so you obviously only a few games into the season, like you said, but like we said, you played through an entirety of a college season. What was that season like?
So I actually got hurt January 12th or 13th at Northwest, and initially we thought it was a rotator cuff tear, and thought I was just going to be done altogether with baseball. And then kind of went through some rehab stuff, saw a couple doctors, got a couple injections for my shoulder. Ended up not being a full rotator cuff tear, which is, best case scenario for me, honestly.
Yeah.
But I really never got back to being as good as I could be because I got a 16-week rehab process, and by the time I had gotten that, it was February 5th or 6th. So, our season would have been over at Northwest by that time. I tried to rush back, didn't go as I planned. So that was part of the reason why I wanted to come back and play this year, even though I'm not going back to college next year. It's just because I didn't get to really have a season this year.
What was your reaction like when you got that news? Because that's got to be devastating news to get.
It was tough, especially because we got a new coach, Coach Chandran. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's so good at his job. It was pretty tough because there was a lot of not expectations, I wouldn't say towards me, but towards some of the seniors and fifth
Your last
years.
season?
Yeah. So they were really relying on us because we were the old guys and we had played together for 3 years.
Right.
Most of us were there 2 years ago when we won 13 games, and then last year when we made the playoffs, that was a big deal for us. And then we felt like we were all starting to get to that next step, and I wanted to be one of the main contributors to that. But it was always awesome. It was awesome to watch my best friends, my roommates, everybody that I've been with for 3 or 4 years plus, to make it all the way to the conference tournament championship.
So you had that. Your former head coach at Northwest Missouri State was there for 25 years, and then you get a new head coach in the beginning of your senior season, or maybe the end of your junior season. What was your reaction like to that instance? That's a big change.
Yeah. So there was always talks, with Coach Lowe, who I'll always respect. I love Coach Lowe.
Absolutely.
Skipper. He was a great dude. Loved having him around. But each year you could kind of hear rumblings of maybe he was going to retire, maybe he was going to step away. And he came to us about a little past the midway point that year and told us. So a lot of guys that had years of eligibility, we didn't know what they were going to do.
Right.
And so that was my big concern. And then the hiring process, I was kind of not in the loop, but I kind of was hearing names. And when I heard Coach Chandran, from Johnny actually, there's another funny story that Johnny should probably be the one to tell, but he was one of the main reasons why Coach Chandran even found out about the job.
Wow. I've seen actually Coach Chandran here a couple of times.
Yeah.
His guys.
So because Coach Chandran played here for Coach Johnson with Johnny, and so they became really good friends.
Wow.
And
That's funny. I like that.
yeah. So long story short, Johnny got Coach Chandran an interview, crushed it, and then I talked to him pretty much every day. It felt like over the summer last year, just going over different little things, like what did I think we need to improve upon? How do I need to get better? Like certain players, what roles would they fill? What did I think? And it wasn't just me. He was calling other guys that were seniors and stuff like that. But I was excited. I mean, we kind of needed a little bit of a change. We were kind of behind the old school style. We didn't use a lot of technology before Coach Chandron. We didn't really do a lot of the stuff that, how baseball's changed into the Rapsodos and the...
Yeah, an older coach that's, that's kind of come to be expected, I would say.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So, but no, you've gone through a few changes here, and you really, I think, showed your determination to want to keep playing. So what made you want to start playing? Like when you were little, I guess how long have you been playing baseball? Let's start there. When did you start?
I had a glove and a ball in my hand since I could walk.
Right.
I mean, there's videos of me. This is a name I don't even know that you would remember, but David DeJesus.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah,
Royals
legend,
player.
baby.
Royals
So
player,
I
yeah.
was like, I don't remember how old I was when he was a Royal, but he made this diving or running grab into the wall, and my mom like has pictures of me. I don't even know how old I was, but I was just throwing the ball up, running into the wall in the house and catching it like over and over again. Like baseball was always. I mean, my dad tried to play college baseball. My brother played college baseball for 4 years, and then my sister loves baseball. My mom. I mean, we have season tickets to the Royals, so I mean,
Nice.
we're always
You're a
there.
baseball fan.
Yeah, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm the least baseball person
Really?
out of the whole family.
Wow.
I'm a bigger football person.
Wow.
My dream was always to play either football or baseball professionally, whatever. But I always wanted to play quarterback somewhere. And so I tried to actually play quarterback at Northwest, but I didn't really have the frame at the time.
So those boys are big.
They are big, yeah.
Because I was probably 6'1", 165 pounds,
Yeah,
which
true.
I was okay. I wasn't,
Right.
I wasn't going to be anything special when it came to being a quarterback, but I just never got the offers, and then baseball offers started trickling in, so I figured that was the way I should go.
They may as well ride with it.
Right. I do have a question for you real quick. So, hitting on the point, baseball has been instilled in your family for so long. When it came time after high school, what made you want to decide to go play baseball up at Northwest?
I actually went to State Fair Community College first.
Okay.
I was there for
Okay.
2 years, so I really didn't have any offers or anything. And my senior year of high school, I didn't play basketball for other reasons, but I did a throwing program to try and throw harder because I never threw harder than 80, 81 miles an hour.
Okay.
And spent from November to February doing a weighted ball program, throwing running guns, whatever, and I went from 79, 80 to 89, 90.
Wow.
And it was, I think, March when I went to a showcase event at Johnson County Community College, and I was the second hardest thrower there. And one of the Division II coaches asked the catcher, who was my club catcher even, asked if I was a felon. Because he didn't know why I was uncommitted. He was like, there has to be something wrong with this kid. Like, what's wrong with him? And he was like, no, he's a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And so that day I had probably 50 schools reach out, a lot of D2s, a lot of D3s. I didn't get any Division I's.
But still a great look.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, so what was funny was State Fair wasn't even there. They reached out to my high school coach about some players, and me and another guy went up there for a visit, workout. They were actually interested in me as a shortstop until they saw me throw off the mound, and I hit 87 in front of them. They were like, oh, you're 6'1", 160 pounds, and you're throwing 87, 86, 87, whatever. They're like, yeah, you're going to be a pitcher.
So they put some weight on, and
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. Well, so you guys are 4-1 so far this season. 2-0 in weekly play. You guys just got a walk-off win last night. Before the game was, you won one by 12-2 was the final score. What's been the key to this hot start? You guys have come together so abruptly. What's been the key?
Well, I'm a little biased because I am a pitcher, but I will say our pitching staff has been dealing. Even in the one loss to the Monarchs, we gave up 2 runs. I think we had the 5-run game against the Monarchs the first time, but other than that, I don't think we've given up more than 2 runs.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you honestly, but I know our strikeouts in both the games that I've thrown in we've been 17 strikeouts, so it's like You're able to strike out. Our goal is usually a little above 10, somewhere in the 10 range. And so when Mac, our pitching coach, sees 17, he's ecstatic.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we've also had a lot of huge timely hitting. I mean, Parker Griffith, who's currently on the field right now, getting his extra work in.
Yeah.
He had a lot of huge hits in those first 3 or 4 games. Logan Miller's been awesome lately. I know George is going to get going here soon, and then Don Felix, a returner. I mean, he's been crushing the ball the last couple of days. So it's kind of been a mix and match. Good pitching always helps, good defense, and then just timely hitting.
Yesterday bullpen came in, started with Bronco. No hits allowed throughout the whole entire bullpen. You were talking about Mac, pitching coach. I mean, what are some of those continuous talks over here? Because me and Truman, in the broadcast, we've been mentioning the bullpen has been kind of the catalyst for the team so far, especially in the base paths as well on the offensive side. But you guys in that bullpen, you sure come in and you make a point pretty early on. What are some of those talks that are going on between you guys and Mac to continue that type of play?
Max is really good about working within the individual. He knows everybody's going to have a different way of being successful. Like for me, I've always been a change-up heavy person, so he doesn't try and change that. Like he lets me go out there and be me versus like a Bronco who throws a little bit harder than me. Like he's going to rely on his fastball and his slider for the most part, and he's going to be effective. The big thing that Mac just kind of preaches to everybody is just throw strikes, which is a cliche. Everybody hears it, everybody says it, but that's all he really cares about is throwing strikes, keeping our arms healthy, and then helping us throw harder. That's really the only thing that, for each individual person, that he keeps the same. But for everyone, it's different. And he also puts us in good spots out of the bullpen.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned Parker Griffith a minute ago, and he was actually your catcher at Northwest. What's it like? Is there any differences between throwing at him at Northwest and here, or what's that chemistry been like for you guys?
It's funny because my only outing this year at Northwest, Parker was the catcher, and I don't think he never caught his previous 2 years, or he caught one other time his freshman year. I actually threw to him that day too. But Parker and I have been together for 3 years now, and we were roommates on the road his freshman year. So I really got to get to know him well, and became really good friends. And over the years, he's kind of been my bullpen catcher for. When I was a starter, I would throw 40, 50 pitch bullpens to him and kind of teach him like how I want to throw, how do I want to attack hitters. And so I think these 3 years have kind of like built up to this moment of this summer. And when I go out there, he knows what I'm trying to do, and I know I can trust him. And I don't have to sit there and shake off every pitch to get to what I want. Like he knows what I'm thinking because of all the bullpens and all the time that we've spent together. So I really think I've been able to help him kind of learn pitch calling because he had a lot of questions early on. And this summer, I mean, he's proven that he can call pitches. So.
Yeah, that's got to be a comfort going into a game, knowing that you can trust the guy that you're throwing to. I mean, obviously they say it's a game of pitch and catch or throw and catch, but when you know you can trust that guy you're throwing to, I think it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
At least it sounds like it does. But like we said, hot start, you guys are 4-1, 2-0 in Major League play. If you right now had to give a player or an MVP, Darius Freeman was the MVP last year. If you had to give one right now, or midway through the season, or I guess only a few games into the season, who would it be?
Man, that's
Tough.
There's been a few ballers so far this season.
I know.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm going to give an answer that I've already said his name once today, but I don't think a lot of people probably would expect this.
Yeah.
But I would say Logan Miller. Logan, I mean, he's been getting on base a ton. He's one of the best defensive outfielders I've ever seen. He made 2 of the greatest plays I've ever seen last year. And he's kind of just continued that. On the pitching staff side, if I had to give an MVP for that, Chase Johnson's been good. I mean, Harrington's throwing for us tonight. I mean, he had a really good game opening night, and Jaron Guck, as always, he was nails for us on Northwest night. So,
10 carries.
I mean, it's tough picking a pitcher right now this early in the season because it feels like everybody's just doing phenomenal. So, for the hitting, I mean, hitters-wise, you could go Logan or maybe even Parker, just because Parker's had a lot of good hits too.
He's been close these first few games. But looking through the standings here in Major League play, you guys are the only team that's undefeated. Obviously, only 2 games you've won in Major League play. You've only played 2. Sedalia is 4-1. Nevada's 3-2. Jefferson City's 2-2. Florinda's 1-1. Chillicote's 0-3, and Carroll is 0-3 as well. Are there any games, maybe the guys I just mentioned, that you have circled on your calendar for this upcoming season?
Not really, and I don't want to sound disrespectful when I say this, but we're typically the team that gets circled on everyone's calendar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very
So,
Yeah.
like, we don't really, like, pick anybody out specifically just because, like, we know we're getting, the team we're playing that night, we get their best shot. Like, they want to beat us. And so every game, it's going to sound cliche, but, like, that's the biggest game of the season just because we know we have to
Right.
play our best to
Yep.
win because the other team's got that little added motivation for that game.
Yeah, it's just like bring it all, no matter who the opponent is. You know,
Yeah.
it's a
So
winning culture.
I will say in the past, it's always been Clorinda.
Yep.
That we kind of like whenever we play Clorinda, it's like, all right, we're gonna be ready to go today because they're usually the team that gives us the most fits. But I wouldn't say right now we're not really circling any
Yeah.
at this moment.
I mean, when you're a championship team, like you said, every team is going to give you their best shot, and you guys are obviously a championship contending team. You obviously won last year, so there's no reason for that to change this
Yeah.
year. So we obviously talked about you being a baseball family. You mentioned David DeJesus, which is a great.
That's a
pull.
great pull.
Was he number 9 on the Royals? He was like the Alex Gordon before the Alex Gordon.
I don't know why my gut says
Maybe he wasn't number
maybe
9.
he's number 9.
Because number 8, it's like Coco Crisp, I think it's.
Yeah, I was
He's a
thinking.
Royal. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he was.
was the Royal like 2011.
It's like
he was
the old
earlier than that.
2008, 2009. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, David DeJesus, I wanted to say was 7, but I could be completely wrong on that. He might have been 9.
Yeah.
It was a low number for sure.
Oh yeah.
So you guys even mentioned you had Royal season tickets.
Mhm.
So I would assume they were your favorite team, but did you have a favorite player or like, I guess, a guy that inspired you to be where you are today growing up?
It's actually funny. I mean, it's not really crazy cool, but James Shields was like the first Royals pitcher that I watched that I really wanted to emulate. I started wearing number 33 because of James
Yeah.
Shields. And I started throwing my changeup predominantly because of James Shields because that was his best pitch. Which I'd always thrown a changeup because that was my brother's best pitch. I was my dad's best pitch, and they kind of taught me the ropes of how to throw it. Because I didn't start throwing any form of breaking ball until I was like 17 years old.
Oh wow.
So I was fastball changeup.
That's crazy.
Until I was 16, 17. And yeah, I would say James Shields was probably the biggest impact on like me as a player. It's so easy to just say like right now my favorite player is Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean,
he's my favorite guy to watch
Yeah.
by far.
how can you not be inspired by that?
Yeah.
No, he's
But
amazing.
I definitely will say growing up, my favorite like Royal like long time was Hosmer.
Awesome.
I even did the double celly where he put like the backpack on.
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
And he did that all the time after he hit a double or a home run, whatever. And that's always what I did in high school. Was
You just had to be there during that time, man. It was so fun.
It was-
Around Kansas City.
I was like, no, my favorite was Alex Gordon growing up.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's really no wrong answer from that.
Oh, yeah.
I was a
2013.
Moose fan. So
Yeah.
Moose was my guy.
I mean, we were just talking about, Royals baseball going on here. You just mentioned you're a big football guy.
Oh,
you know,
huge,
we
yeah.
got some big Kansas City fans. We're just from there. We're all 3 from around the area. When you think of, I'm gonna guess Chiefs fan.
Huge.
Okay, huge.
Correct.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. When you think of Chiefs players all time, I mean, who was the guy that you loved watching growing up, or now? But who's your favorite all-time Chiefs player?
Because you said you wanted to be a football player.
Yeah. So I mean, again, obvious answer is Mahomes. I mean, how do you not
Yeah.
want to say Mahomes? But to kind of go off the books, Jamal Charles was kind of like the first like player where I was like 10, 11 years old where I really remember watching. Like I remember watching Derek Johnson and Priest Holmes a little bit. Like that was pretty early in Trent Green days, but Jamal Charles was kind of like we were 2-14, or we were like really bad before we got Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And it was like turn on the TV and watch Jamal Charles run for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns, but
Exactly.
we lose by 20 points or whatever. So
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like a lot of people in Northwest, or like guys on the team are like from Arkansas, Iowa, like they're not Chiefs fans. There's
Right.
not a lot of Chiefs fans on the baseball team.
Which surprising a little bit.
Yeah, because we really don't have as many Kansas City guys as you would think. Like
Yeah.
we still have a decent amount, but so like when the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl every year, it's like everybody's rooting against the Chiefs because
Exactly.
we're all diehard Chiefs
That's
fans.
right. Yeah.
And they start questioning me, they're like, do you even know who's this guy or this guy? And I just like, I can snap an answer off pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
usually.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, okay, like you actually like know the Chiefs, you're not just a bandwagon.
Like,
fan."
yeah, I've been here.
I was like, yeah, I remember whenever we had the first overall pick and took Eric Fisher.
Eric
It was-
Fisher.
It was the worst NFL draft of all time. Like, if you go back and look at that draft, there's like nobody that was ever good.
There's like 2
No.
Pro Bowlers, maybe.
I think the best quarter was that the EJ Manuel draft or
Oh,
Geno Smith. I don't-
13.
I don't even remember.
Oh, was it Keaton Smith out of West Virginia that year? That sounds
Yeah.
right.
It was
That
one of
sounds
those
right.
two guys where I was like, I remember looking back and I'm like, yeah, we couldn't have even taken a quarterback because like
There's
there's
no-
no really panned out.
No, there was no
But
quarterback.
and then we ended up getting Alex Smith anyways, which I loved because I loved watching Alex Smith.
I-
That was the
yeah.
team I rooted for that whole year when the Chiefs were bad. Just because I kind of liked his story, and I remember like sitting in the living room,
Yeah.
seeing the Chiefs traded for Alex Smith underneath the little thing at the bottom of the Sports Center.
Yep.
And I was like losing my mind. I was just running around the house. My mom's like, "What are you doing? What's going on?" My mom, we just traded.
Are you
for
not paying
Alex
attention?
Smith."
Yeah.
No, we didn't watch Matt Castle for this many years.
And you're not excited. Yeah.
What's funny though is my mom's actually like the biggest Chief fan
Really?
in the house. Like
Really?
it's funny because like my dad will tell you everything about the Royals and he'll know he'll know a lot about the Chiefs too.
Right.
But my mom's the one that will like be able to remember a lot of like Chiefs from the 80s and 90s, and my
Yeah.
dad wouldn't even remember.
Nice.
I'm kind of in the same boat. My mother's from Kansas City, my dad's from Jeff City, so like my mom was always growing up a Chiefs fan. She'd go to games even when they were terrible, and I remember just like recently, like the emotion she gets from us winning big games. Like it's honestly so special. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, Kansas City sports as of late, just the superstars we're getting even now with a guy we haven't even mentioned, Caglione, coming
Yeah.
up,
Leon.
who was, I believe he had the shortest time in the minors since Bo Jackson,
Yes.
like coming up for the Royals, which is a crazy stat to just throw out. And
Yeah.
there really has not been this much, in my opinion, this much baseball hype since 2014, 2015 around Kansas City. And it's good to see that, like, in smaller towns and in suburbs of Kansas City, like St. Joseph,
Yeah.
there's a lot more baseball love going around, at least that I notice, like with the Mustangs, like with the Monarchs in Kansas City, Kansas, like
Yeah.
organizations like that that are making me love baseball again. So it's cool to see.
Mhm.
But
You know, I feel like Caglione, you know, it's been the talk of the baseball world. I mean, we're all rooted in baseball right now. You know, it's for Kansas City fans. I mean, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, it hasn't been something we've had to look forward to. I mean, Bobby's debut was really cool back in 21, but
they're still terrible.
still
Yeah.
horrible. You know,
Yeah.
the Royals are kind of on the up and up right now, but got a double. I mean, he had his first
Sure.
hit yesterday in the first game of the series. I mean,
Sure.
Royals split the series with the Cards. You know, I mean, we can all collectively say we all don't like the Cardinals.
I can say
I
that.
didn't know.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Sorry for anyone at home who's listening who likes the Cardinals. But kind of another like just like fun question. All time like video game. What is like if you're going home and you have some free time? What's like the first video game you're gonna throw on?
It kind of depends. So if my buddies are playing video games, I'm typically a Call of Duty guy through and through.
Nice. There you go.
But like last night, I got home to my host family's at like 10:45. All my friends were asleep. So I'm a big Madden player.
Okay.
As we've already kind of discussed, I'm a big football guy.
Not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really just kind of grind away on that. I'm really not that great. I play Ultimate Team, and my team's actually pretty decent. But you know, when you play guys that have
Spend money on the game.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like people who are really invested into it, they're really good at it.
It's not as fun.
No, it's not. I get really into it. I get really mad. So
I was an Ultimate Team player for a couple of years, and I understand the pain.
Yeah.
Anyone that has played that game, I understands. But no, Madden is definitely a classic. Have you played NCAA 25? 26 is coming up.
I did play 25 for a little bit.
Okay.
That was my.
My Missouri Tigers weren't given the respect that I felt like they deserved on there.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I agree.
Me as well.
it was just frustrating whenever like Kansas was like higher rated on everything than
Yeah.
Missouri, and I was like, this doesn't even make sense.
Hey, we'll get to see who's really better this year in week 2 of the
Second week, baby.
yeah,
I know.
NCAA football.
I'm a little nervous, but not really. I mean, like Mizzou should always beat Kansas in football. It's not really up for debate. But
Agreed.
with the new quarterback that Mizzou just brought in, I'm really
Yep.
I'm really interested to see how Bo looks.
Yeah. So you got a lot of money to come over to Columbia, so
I mean, he's a good athlete, man. Like they say, like he kind of has like a little Tim Tebow in him as a runner, and then I think he throws the ball significantly better than
Okay.
Tebow did. hopefully he
Love
can
it.
be a winner like T-Hill was.
Yeah.
I mean, so I want to circle back to Call of Duty. We talked about Call of Duty being one of your go-to games. Which Call of Duty? Which one? If you could only pick one.
It's kind of nostalgia based, but the first Black Ops,
They always are.
the 01
Yeah.
was my favorite. I know a lot of people will say Modern Warfare 2, which is another really good one.
That's a good one. That's a good
But
one.
Black Ops was like the first one I really played growing up.
Yeah.
My mom didn't want me to play those games growing up.
Me?
Well, of course, yeah.
So
Sounds right.
I even had to like turn off the TV or turn off the sound on the TV and then turn off the subtitles so I could see like the cuss words and
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, like BO1 was the first one, and
Yeah.
I would just grind the zombies
I was gonna say
for
you-
hours.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I still am. Like every time they drop a new map, I'll play it until I can beat the Easter egg.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Oh yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, Mustangs Nation, today for it's kind of an introductory episode. We'll have more coming into next Fridays as we go throughout the season. More season talk, baseball talk, fun talk. We'll have it all here. And be sure to give us some name suggestions down in the comments of this video. We'll be thinking about it as well, but we'll also take your suggestions. But for now, for Phil in Time with Phil Welch, I've been Jackson Phelps,
I've been Keaton Smith.
And I'm Andrew Clark.
and we will see you guys next Friday.